What's good? It's poppin'. It's your girl Taquisha Jones, aka Kelly Queen T, aka Blackout T. Oh my God! So let me explain to y'all why, because y'all probably not gonna stick around long anymore. But let me explain to y'all. Yesterday, I said I was gonna post 3 videos, three new stories. Y'all was going to pick them. Okay, right? So I read the last chapter of Dumbass Me. I read the whole new chapter of a new book, right? And then dun 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 dun. I got ready to upload all 3 videos. But in the midst of me getting ready to upload that very last video, right? The very last video, I tweaked. And I pushed the delete button. That's what happened. I was like, and the hand you can't see, it hit the fucking delete button. And I didn't actually see it when I did it. And I was like, after it happened, I looked down and I was like, 1, 2. Oh my God! I deleted the video! Oh! What am I to do? And that's pretty much what happened. So, what we doing to that right now, after my blunder, I'm just gonna give y'all the new story. We're gonna start with the new story. It's called The Sisterhood of BlackBerry Corner. It is by Andre Smith. And then we're gonna go into Dumbass Me, and that's gonna be, we're not gonna actually do story in this video because I actually want to give y'all something else teaser, and I'm not even sure because I don't know if I want to do Have Going to High because I'm trying to get a younger audience, but at the same time keep my older audience. So I don't know. I just don't know. I might not just not know what I want. So, 1 Cannon Creek, 1985. From the back porch, Bonnie watched Thora Dean and the flowery bramble behind the house. It was in a wide straw hat. Thora plucked blackberries, each the size of a silver dollar, and set them in her basket. Over the years, the bramble had become one of Thora's favorite places. At the height of the season, the area was peaceful, fragrant, and the prickly scrubs that extended well into the woods were overcome with plump, dark berries. Thora, Bonnie called. I'm fixing to set breakfast on the table. I'll be early long, she yelled back. Bonnie could smell the impending rain. Like most quick showers during the South Carolina summer, the coming storm might be just enough to cool the day off. Bonnie entered the house and the screen door slapped shut behind her. She used a moist paper towel tucked in the pocket of her house dress to dab beads of sweat from her face. Sometimes she couldn't tell if it was the actual heat that made her stop and take a breath, or her own private summer. Perhaps a little bit of both. She lifted a platter of pancakes from the stove and laid it out on the table set for 2. Then Bonnie glanced at the wall clock above the sink. She decided to put an extra plate and coffee cup. Most mornings, Tally the mailman stopped in for a quick cup before he ended his run. Thora, Bonnie yelled out of the screen door. Damn it to hell, Thora hollered as she made her way across the back lawn. I say I'm on my way, then I'm on my way. She hooked the basket of berries on her forearm and took the porch steps one at a time. Her large chest, once the highlight of a voluptuous body, now seemed to drag her down. And when she entered the kitchen, she was slightly winded. You done made the pancakes already, she asked. That's what I've been trying to say, Bonnie replied. I told you that. I told you so. I told you so. Girl, you're starting to sound like an old woman. That's because I am an old woman, and I have to tell you, dear. Bonnie let the rest of her sentence dangle conspicuously in the air. Thora hung her hat on a hook beside the door. A thin black ponytail trailed down her back, and a few silvery hairs sprung from her temples. Thora's dark face was misted with sweat, but her lipstick remained perfect. Even working in the bramble on a hot summer morning, Thora Dean refused to leave the house without at least applying a stubble coat of positively plum. Thora quickly rinsed the berries in a colander, then dried her purple-stained hands on a dish towel. The two women sat, clasped hands across the table, and bowed their heads while Thora said grace. Her mumbled devotion sounded like a familiar song, ending with, "Our dear Father, Amen." Wildfire was about to take over the bushes out there, Thora said, pulling two pancakes onto her plate. I could think of worse things growing. Thora stirred the bitter cream into her coffee. "Weeds, weeds, and more weeds," she grumbled. "Them damn Johnny jump-ups finna choke the life out of the blackberry roots." "Why are you so contrary this morning? You up again last night?" Thora nodded. "Horse come to me." Bonnie stopped pouring maple syrup and looked at her old friend. Somewhere around 2 a.m., there he was standing in the bathroom door. Standing there just like any other morning. He was holding one of them big old pipe wrenches and wearing his smock like he was heading for a job. All he said this time was, "Need to lay them copper piping, honey. Can't skimp on this one." Then he left. Bonnie looked at Thora curiously. "What in the world that mean? Beats me?" Bonnie said, "He was a lot less talkative in this dream." "Won't no damn dream, you know it." Bonnie tossed her head. "You and all that foolishness. All I need right now is start believing in Hanks and things." They heard a truck pulling up outside. Then the door slammed shut. Dora's eyes shot up to the wall clock. Then she dabbed her mouth with a paper napkin. "Tally late again this morning," she said. "Only 20 minutes this time. How often do we get our mail late?" Bonnie always defended Tally when he was running behind on his deliveries. "For fact, I can't remember the man taking more than a day to off in 6 years he been delivering our mail." 5 years, Thora corrected. "And Tyler took plenty of days off. We just ain't got our mail till he come back." "Well, he do all right for me." Blackberry Corner was the last stop on his route, and she recognized that Tyler was one of only 2 mail carriers for Cannon Creek Post Office. So he was responsible for 7 miles worth of mail deliveries every day. Sometimes when Bucky Ellsworth authorized acted up, Telly would take on an additional shift and deliver to the entire tri-country area of Parkwell, Menstone, and Cannon Creek, effectively called the Three Sisters. The gate squeaked open in the front yard. "Hi there, Tally," Thora called out. "Hope you got my check." "And my Spinnacle catalog," Bonnie put in. "Seem like I have every catalog the Lord ever made in my bag today." Tally's sack brushed the foyer walls. He slid it off his thick shoulders and set it by the kitchen door. Then placed a bunch of letters into Thora's waiting hands. "It's still summer," he carped. "And here I got all of these darn fall catalogs." In the years that Tally had worked this routine, the color of his uniform had changed from navy to light blue to khaki. His hat, once a boiler, was now a stiff-rimmed cap. But one thing that never changed was that his uniform had always been too tight, causing his stomach to spill over his belt. Sit on down and have yourself some breakfast," Bonnie said. "You know I ain't got time to sit," Tally said, even as he shifted a couple of pancakes from the platter onto his waiting plate and eased himself into the chair across from Thor. "I'm doing Manstone run across after this." "Still taking on extra shifts?" Bonnie asked. Voice get on, drive, my goodness. Still stocking my panties away," he said. "Got my eye on a little piece of land out there in Talagi." "Talagi?" Bonnie said with surprise. She set a cup of hot coffee in front of him. 7 acres, Tally added. "Pretty land, and cheap as sin." "Of course it's cheap," Thora put in. "Ain't nothing in Talagi but sticks and mosquitoes. And some of the countryest folks God ever made." "Thor," Bonnie scored. "She ain't lying," Bonnie Tally said. "But our show Columbus men said the same thing when they landed in the New World." "You mean before they commenced to whipping on them po Indians, Thor argued. Gotta be some eggs in order to make an omelet, he shot back. Tally and Thor were always locking horns. And as much as Thor complained about the man, Bonnie was beginning to think that their wrangling was a highlight of Thor's day. So you plan on moving into this new house by yourself? Thor asked. Lester, you got some ideas, Tally said. As usual, Thor ignored his foolery. She returned to sorting the mail and finally separated a mustard-colored government-sealed envelope from the rest of the pack. Beneath it was a small white envelope with a handwritten address. My mama always said, Tally went on, that it's bad luck for a single man to move to a house by himself. Say the house swallow him up. Say it turn him into a man no woman can ever live with. Why you doing it then? Thor asked. Cause mama dead and I'm tired of living at Corin's place. A man of 50 such and such shouldn't believe in no Roman house. You mean 60 such and such, Thor mumbled. She took a pair of gold framed glasses from her pocket and slipped them on. Then she tried to make out the return address on the back of the envelope. What you got there, Bonnie asked. Just say Bonnie Wilder, Canyon Creek, South Carolina. Mr. mentioned that one, Bonnie. At the station, we calls it a Christmas letter. Like them letters addressed to Santa Claus North Pole. Thor handed Bonnie the envelope and her glasses. She opened the seal and unfolded a letter written on plain white paper. Her eyes skimmed it quickly. A smile spread across her face. It's from one of our children. Gal or boy? Thor asked. Gal, named Augustine Randall, Bonnie answered. She a grown woman now. They're all grown now. That don't make me feel old, Thor mumbled. Tally refilled his coffee at the stove. Them kids must live all over the place. One boy, Bonnie started, or should I say man, live right here in the Three Sisters. Work as a porter on Penn Eastern Railroad. Out of the blue, he comes up one day just to say hello. And remember the letter we got from that girl, live all the way in Barcelona, Spain? Thor said proudly. Yep, she's some kind of translator. Must be good to know when the babies grow up and do well, Tally said. A lot of folks would have looked the other way. Would have took them babies right on to the cunning home. I don't know, Bonnie said modestly. Heroes, Tally insisted. All two of you. A few more than two, Thor put in. And I wouldn't call us no heroes, Bonnie said. Bonnie's right, Thor said, because anybody with the love of Jesus would have done the same damn thing. Tally nodded. So why y'all stop? Thor sipped her coffee. Bonnie looked over the top of her glasses. There's a time for things to happen, she said thoughtfully, and a time for things to end. When does Augustine Randall have to say? Thor asked, trying to change the subject. Dear Miss Wilder, she said, I hope this letter finds you well in God's favor. Means she hope you're still alive, Thor said. Bonnie went on reading. You don't know me, as I spent most of my life in New Jersey. But I was born in the Three Sisters. My family name was Porter. Augustine Porter, Bonnie said. Y'all recollect any folks named Porter? Maisie Porter, Thor answered. Lived out by Main Street, but she was a white woman. My mama's name was Evelyn, and my daddy was called Dorsey. He died when I was 4, and that's when Mama and I moved to New Jersey. I work as a school teacher now. I teach 3rd grade in a town called Montclair. Ain't that nice, Bonnie said. My husband, Joseph, he's also a teacher at a college here. And we're about to have our first child. Lovely, Bonnie whispered, almost to herself. I want to thank you, Miss Bonnie. I had a wonderful life, and I know that it was you and other ladies who started me on my way. Heroes, Tally and hissed it. No, sheroes. You're just crazy, Tally, Bonnie chuckled. Then she went on reading. The second reason I'm writing is a bit more complicated. Ain't it always, Tally grunted. My mama Evelyn went to her glory just a year ago. I can't tell you how painful her passing was for me. Now that she's gone, and now that I'm about to be a mama myself, I'm hoping to find out who my real mother is. Damn. A lot of folks doing that now, Tally said, wiping his mouth. I see on the Granner show where all these people, young and old, is running around trying to find out who they is and where they come from. I miscarried a child 2 years ago, and the doctor says that I should stay off my feet. So I had a lot of time to sit and wonder. I hope you don't mind if I call you. Maybe you could call me. Maybe you could tell me what you remember. Lord, I can't recall what my name is sometimes, Bonnie said. And they're not neither one of us kept no records. Maybe this girl ought to go to Galata show, Tally joked. Throw rolls her eyes. Galatas don't pay. He found folks whether they want to be fed or not. Tally finished his coffee in one go. Bonnie, he said, rising. Breakfast was delicious as usual. Hate to eat and run, Thor said. All them pancakes you scuffed down, man. You be lucky if you can walk. Always a pleasure to see you too, Dora Dean, Tally said, lifting his sack. At the kitchen door, he turned back. Say that, Thor. He began, mm-hmm. She replied without looking up from a Rich's catalog. I hear tell you like them picture shows. I do, she replied. Teddy sack knocked against the co-rack. They got a new one out at the Regal, he said. The color purple. Seen it? He thought a second. In Madison at the Grove is the new Rocky number 4. Maybe that's no 5. Seen it, she said. And before you go on, she added, I done seen every movie playing in all the Three Sisters. He rubbed a new growth on his chin. Didn't know you had such an active social life, he said. Well, y'all have a good day then. You too, Tally. Bonnie showed Thora a threatening look. Then she set Augustine's letter on the table and followed him out to the porch. She a hard nut to crack, Tally said. The hardest, Bonnie agreed. But her shell ain't made of steel. He nodded. Hope that Augustine Gale found her way. I'm sure she will. Young people get something in their head, Bonnie said, and most times it's gone after a week or two. You right about that, he replied. Ain't like us old folks. Got something in our head, we see it through. Yep, we see it through all right. Tally strolled down the steps toward his truck. Got some mint jelly setting, Bonnie called. Come on by and pick up a couple of jars. I'll surely do that. Lamb chops ain't the same without your mint jelly. Bonnie waited on the porch until she saw him drive through the gate. When she returned to the table, Thora was skimming Augustine's letter. Why you chop the man off at the knees like that, Bonnie chatted. I'm about as interested in seeing Tally bend for it as I'm in getting a new crown on my tooth. Bonnie piled the dirty cups. Shame we can't help that Augustine girl. She took the cups to the sink, then returned the piles to the plate. After all these years, I can't recall what baby went to who and where. I was just surprised she the only somebody who ever asked about her mama. Bonnie noticed that Thora had her lips pursued as she stared at the letter. Thora Dean rarely tucks her lips, for she hated getting lipstick on her teeth. What is it, Bonnie asked. I think she the one. One what, honey? The one? Bonnie turned the dishes still in her hands. This here is Lucinda's child, Thora said. Bonnie set the place on the table and sank into the chair she just vacated. Are you sure? Mentioned the name Dorsey. You remember that fella? We thought Dorsey was his last name, but it was his first. Bonnie lowered her head. This is Lucinda's baby girl. Dora slipped her glasses off. Can't be. Thora shrugged. What difference do it make? Lucinda probably dead as a doornail by now. Maybe. Bonnie thought she had moved past the pain, but hearing Lucinda's name still sent a cold shiver through her. Gail says she gonna call, Thora said. You fixing to tell her? It wouldn't serve nobody know they mama. With somebody like Lucinda? Bobby took the pile of dishes to the sink and dashed them with pink liquid from the plastic soap bottom. Then switched on the tap. Bubbles rose in a thick cloud. Ain't it strange, though? Thora began. Bonnie didn't answer. Out of all the living children that came to us, Thora went on, this girl, Lucinda's girl, is the only one who come back and asks. That's how life goes, Bonnie said. That's all you got to say? In the 50 years that they've known each other, Thora Dean had never been one to hold her tongue. And old age seemed to make her even more distraught. Maybe you should talk to that girl, because you ain't never come to peace with this thing. I came to my own peace, thank you, Bonnie said, dismissing the subject. Dora stood with her hands on her hip, a look of doubt on her face. Need to think on what I'm saying, Bonnie. It might help you as much as it helped her. She must have sensed that Bonnie would take the subject no farther. For the final click of her teeth, she moved toward the kitchen door. I ain't studying on you neither, Dora said, fixing to take me a nap. I don't know it ain't even noon and all that, but Horace visit threw my sleep thing off. Thora paused at the kitchen door. You hear me, Bonnie, she called. Yes? I don't think so. Girl, I don't think you hear a word I'm saying. The kitchen door swung back and forth on the hinges behind Thor until it settled in place. Bonnie stood at the sink with the water running and stared through the short lace curtains and out toward the woods. She understood the need for this woman to find her mama. But there was a place in Bonnie's mind, in her heart, that she had stopped visiting years ago. Occasionally, she had let herself drift back to recall the smell of talum and the taste of sweet Carcanian milk. Such a simple time, yet so complicated. The best and the worst time of her life. All right, let's finish this one. Chapter 16, The Dead Are Conscious of Nothing. As I sat in the closet looking at the two people I cared dearly for sprawled over the floor, I couldn't help but think about the past 2,016 hours of my life. In desperate search for happiness, I managed to eliminate all that really mattered in my world. Funny how my world managed to hurt so many people. I suppose my selfishness was contagious because it spread to Alexis and Eden like an infectious disease. Then maybe I'm being too harsh on myself. After all, Alexis pursued me like a portrait on a rare white tiger. Perhaps I was a victim of her wants and desires. As for Eden, she was just another prey in the cargo, befriending anyone who would satisfy her acquired taste. After all these years, I would have never thought that Alexis would have done this to me. Looking back, that's exactly why she did it. She knew I would have never suspected it. The yacht, the condo, and all the beautiful things Eden owned, I purchased. Well, my wife purchased with my money. Never in a million years would I have thought that either of them was bisexual. Life's a bitch. Really? That's what the fuck you was stuck on? Not that. Okay. I was left there to reflect on the things that I've done. Left to deal with my feelings. The consequences of my actions. My children. What about them? How was I to explain that their mother was dead? I thought I was willing to pay any price to live a playboy lifestyle. I knew some things didn't have any momentary value. What can I say? Dumbass me. I had to somehow put this behind me. I had to go on living and provide a full life for my children. Over the course of the last 3 months, I learned that I could not make anyone happy or whole. Each person is responsible for their own destiny. Destiny and fate are not accidents or coincidence. They are groomed for many years. All my years of being the Playboy family played off. I had to come to the realization that today's events were not coincident, but consequences of my lifestyle. I know rehashing the events of the day was not going to erase all the pain I felt and had to explain. Women always seem to get their way. Alexis and Eden were dead. They were conscious of nothing. Alexis did not have to explain to her children why she committed suicide. Alexis would not have to explain to her parents why their prima donna was now gone. As for Eden, I only knew a pinhole about her life. I had no idea what would result from my relationship with this woman. I suppose all her secrets left with her. Damn, I had explained this to Sylvia too. My mother was an understanding woman. Let's see how well she understands the events of that day. At that moment, I saw the police open the elevator to my paradise turned hell. It was the same cops that arrested me earlier. This was the first day of the rest of my life. Damn. Ladies, if any of these scenarios look remotely familiar, you're being played, or you're a player. Fellas, this is how you roll. Congratulations, you're playing the game. For those who are watching, if you decide to drive in, these are tried and true rules of the game. Proceed with caution. Let's figure out some of these rules of the game. Tips of the pimpin' trade. I'm gonna read you give you some tips of the pimpin' trade before we get up out of here. 1, fully clean. If you shower, be sure to use a non-deodorant soap. If you must shower with a deodorant soap, only wash your genital area. Only. Wash your genitals with the soap and the rest of your body with water and a soap-free bath rag. If time does not permit for a shower, stop at the store, buy a single beer, use the beer as body wash. I know this sounds crazy. Trust me, this will masquerade the scent of sex. The beer will also cover the odor of the deodorant soap. Splash the beer on your face and arms, pack it on heavy. Next, pour a little of the beer in your hands, rub it on your genital area. Not too much though. You don't want to look like you had an accident. When you arrive home, play drunk. This will be believed because you smell as such. If you are a non-drinker, coffee does the same trick. Allow yourself enough time for the coffee to cool. Remember to walk in with your drink. Women always smell alike, so ladies, just keep doing what you do. Body spray would do nicely also. Don't come home ashy. This is a dead giveaway that you have taken a shower. unless you just leaving the gym. If you are using the gym as an excuse to see your lover, keep your gym membership current and make sure you lift every now and then so your significant other will see some results. Also, don't use a lotion that you don't have at home. Remember, lotion is scented. Loose lips sink ships. Tell none of your friends your business. This is the first way to get caught. Involve yourself in activities that don't involve anyone else. Get in the habit of doing things alone so when you leave and do solo activities, it won't be suspicious. Gym, gun range, motorcycle riding, walking the dog, golfing, fishing, shopping, book club, hairstylist. Throw it back. Never date one of your mate friends. First of all, this person is more scandalous than you. If they want to screw you, they want to screw you over. There is more than one fish in the sea. Throw that one back. Lay the pipe. Second, spend time at home with the family. Do everything you can imagine, physically, emotionally, and most of all sexually. Never be too tired to make love, even if you put on a clinic at the other person's house. It doesn't matter. Tell everyone you are involved with you have someone. Make sure they are clear on that fact. If they want you, it won't matter. More than likely, it will be a plus. Trust your gut. Know when you are in over your head. I can't tell you when this is, but it's a feeling that you will have in your gut. Abandon ship when this happens. Have tactful. You will do this to determine what will happen next. Thanks, but no thanks. Choose your extra relationships wisely. If there are no stalkers, pass on them. Don't create or look for a problem. An extramarital affair or relationship would be difficult to manage without having a crazy lunatic following you. Hunger. A hungry dog hunts better. A horny dog will make a mistake. Have a hunger for the person, not the sex. The sex will come. Be patient. School is in. Don't spend your money, at least not all of it. I know you wonder how you're going to do this. I'm going to tell you. Here's the instructions. If you have the misfortune of dating multiple people and you are not a baller, this could cause a problem. This is how you overcome this. Your lover will always want to take care of your needs. Use it to your advantage. You must be a creative situations, nothing major, but you must be able to do this. For example, after you have dated, made love, and just took care of all their wants, this is where the game begins. Check this out. Arrive not feeling so well. Their natural response is going to be, "What's wrong, baby?" Your response is, "Nothing. I just have some things on my mind." It has nothing to do with you or us, just some personal shit I need to take care of. They will respond, "If I can help, let me know. I'm here for you." They'll probably say something along those lines. It's all downhill from here. Tell them, "Come over here, sit with me, hold me." Sigh a couple of times, stare at the ceiling, wall, or window. Now they are burdened up to know what the hell is wrong and how they can make it better. They say, "Are you sure you're okay?" This is when you come with it. "Baby, I got myself into a jam. I need your help." Make sure you stop talking. Allow them to ask or say they will help you. Your mate will probably say, "Is there anything I can do?" Your response, "I don't know if you can help. I need X amount of dollars." Next, continue to look bizarre by staring out the window or something. Lastly, they will say one or two things. "I'll give you the money," or "I'll get you the money." This is when you gracefully decline, but be careful not to talk yourself out of the money. Allow them to insist that you take it and then just say okay. Now that you have the money, what do you do with it? You take your other people out with it. Buy them gifts, flowers, get the car repaired or serviced. Pay a bill. 1 month later, you can run the same game. Only this time on the person you spent the money on. The game just rewinds. They'll never ask for it back because you're good to them. Your own money stays in your pocket. Be creative, but careful. Smother me. Women, protect yourself. Don't allow anyone to run in you without protection. Men, put on a helmet. It'd be hard to explain why you need to go on a pill-and-sin diet. Anyone home? Never go into someone's home that has a live-in. That's the quickest way to die. Walk the dog. If you are just going to get a quickie to your significant other, you're going to the store or taking the dog for a walk. Have a small dog so it can be carried, like the York Terrier or Chihuahua. Never travel a distance you can't return home within 15 minutes. Where do you live? Never let a single person, a person that does not have anyone else, know where you live. or in what area you live in, unless you want them stopping by. I know they can find out by running your tag or going through your pockets or purse, but don't make it easy for them. Home phone. Never call from your home phone. Never. I don't have to explain. What are you doing? Don't do something you wouldn't normally do. If you normally don't go to a football game alone, don't up and say you're going one day out of the blue. Take the family first, then you can go alone. This shit is like playing chess. You just have to set up your moves. Huh? Don't ever think your mate doesn't have a clue what's going on. If it comes up, talk about it. Talk calmly and be attentive. Don't blow up or get mad. This shows guilt. Always remain in control. Diffuse any concerns your significant other may be having. Yes, I am. Never ask your mate, are you cheating on me? It's a dead giveaway that you are. Dress the part. Don't just show up wearing something you didn't buy. If you're low maintenance, stay that way. Enough said. Be wise. Know what you know. And what you should know is that you need to be hitting that like button, leaving a comment down, and trying to check out my other videos to make sure up your mind if you want to subscribe. Other than that, it's your girl Squeeze Jones, and we out. We'll be back with another video. And because I took forever, I'm going to literally not post no more videos today. And whatever video has the most views within 4 hours is the book we read. And we out. Peace.